Okay, quick little tour through the red box of doom. And by that, I don't mean the calculator, but instead the kinds of things that you're seeing as error messages. Um, this is a slightly different version of calculator. In my subdirectory, it's called new calculator. We're going to go over it in class, but if I come in here and I say, well, I'm going to change this variable and I'm going to call it, and I've got two D's there, maybe it's a typo. One thing you'll notice is that you do get a red line under a variable that hasn't been declared. I'm going to save this and I'm just going to show you that if I were to just say update, I do get the red box of doom. And it does say mid2 is not defined. That helps us a lot in trying to figure out, it even says a little bit about it's at calculate and it's on line 7. So there's ways that we can move through understanding what this is telling us. But basically, the underlining helps us as well. If I fix that one though, and I come into maybe some more subtle typos that I tend to get, maybe instead of calling calculate with a small c, I call calculate with a big C, and I try to update this. Another red box of doom. This one says undefined is not a function. And again, it tells me that we're in convert. It tells me that I'm on line 9, and that's where it's having trouble. And that does help me a little bit. It doesn't say, oh, you have got a capital C instead of a small c, but it says, hey, I have no idea what you're trying to say there. So using the small c helps. If I have a typo, say in here, associated with something that I've named in my lively world, and I call it the wrong name, and I try to update again, red box of doom. This time it's saying, gee, cannot read property text string of null. Again, maybe cryptic, yes. We know it's in convert. That's at the top of this call stack here. We know it's around line 7. That might be helpful. But ultimately, it's not that you're going to get to read those and know what every line is saying in those red boxes of doom, but at least it tells you where to go to maybe find what happened or what line it might be on. And you do have to be, sort of CSI about it and try to figure it out. Another type of error you might see is this is the name of a property associated with this thing that I got out of my lively environment, and I can say, all right, let me try, see if I can update it. And it says, oh, if you see this, it worked. But that's not a number. Oh, this is not exactly what I anticipated, but let's go in and see what happened. And it may be, I'm gonna see if I wasn't able to parse my float associated with my midterm Mark II here. That's for sure. I know that because I actually did have that typo in there. I did end up with a not a number in final mark. It didn't really help me much in terms of understanding what kind of error I had, but ultimately maybe you get the idea that it's going to take troubleshooting to be able to determine, what this red box of doom is telling you. Ultimately, sometimes it'll say, oh, it's just fine, because if you see this, it worked, but there really was something wrong because you got not a number in there. But anyway, part of that becomes fun too, trying to hunt down where these bugs are. We'll talk a little bit about the origin of the word bug in class tomorrow too, but just wanted to give you a rundown on the red box of doom, and we don't mean the calculator.